So today we're looking at the brand new SONOFF NSPanel Pro 2 relay output version. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you might remember that I reviewed the previous NSPanel Pro, the model that was for the US market, a while back. And while I like the idea behind it, I've never actually ended up using it long term in my home. The problem wasn't really to do with the software, but more the hardware. The original unit was physically too tall for UK switches, which made finding somewhere sensible to install it rather difficult. And while it worked, it was never particularly quick. For something you're supposed to interact with every day, it just felt a little bit sluggish. So when SONOFF announced this new version, I was intrigued, because on paper they've addressed both of these issues. It's faster, it has more memory, and perhaps more importantly for me, this model fits perfectly in a UK single gang backbox. So let's take a look. Hi, I'm James, and I've been building out my smart home for years, with products from just about every manufacturer out there, figuring out what works and what doesn't. Inside the box you'll find the panel itself, along with the usual documentation and installation accessories. And at first glance it looks very similar to the previous models, but there are a few important differences. The display is a 3.95 inch capacitive touchscreen with a 480 by 480 resolution, and behind that SONOFF has upgraded the hardware pretty significantly. The Gen 2 now features a quad-core processor with 2 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage, which is a substantial increase over the previous versions. That extra hardware might not sound particularly exciting, but as you'll see later, it makes a noticeable difference to the overall experience. Now, if you've never come across the NSPanel range before, this is essentially 3 products combined into one device. First, it's a smart wall switch now. It has 2 built-in relay outputs, allowing it to directly control 1 or 2 lighting circuits. Second, it's a smart home control panel. You can display dashboards, launch scenes, monitor cameras, control other devices, and generally use it as a wall-mounted touchscreen interface for your smart home. And thirdly, it can act as a Zigbee gateway and Matter bridge, allowing it to connect and expose devices from different ecosystems. For this review, I'm going to be installing it on my upstairs landing. The reason for that location is pretty simple. Unfortunately, unlike some smart switches that can operate without a neutral, this device requires both live and neutral at the switch position because it's effectively powering a small Android computer inside the wall. Unfortunately, I have one suitable location where I have both connections available. It's also replacing a set of ZemiSmart switches that I've been using there for some time. Now, I actually quite like those switches because they included small OLED screens above each button, and that meant you could identify what each switch did without needing physical labels, which is great if you have guests around. But the downside was that those labels were basically static unless you went into the app to change them. You couldn't dynamically change them based on the conditions around the home automatically. So while they looked and worked pretty nice, they were still fundamentally just switches. So once I've got the NS panel wired in, it sits nicely in a standard UK single back box, which immediately makes it far easier to install than the previous model. And the setup process was fairly straightforward. Once I connected it to the correct Wi-Fi, you connect it and add it into the eWeLink app, and from there you can start figuring the panel. The device supports both 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi, and also supports Zigbee 3.0, which means you can connect any SONOFF or most other Zigbee 3.0 devices and expose them through its Matter bridge to any ecosystem that you like. But for me, the most interesting part is none of that. It's Home Assistant. One of the biggest improvements with this generation is that SONOFF now openly supports installing additional applications through F-Droid. That means that the Home Assistant app can be installed directly onto the NS panel and even configured as the default home application. And that's pretty much exactly what I've done. Rather than using the default SONOFF interface all the time, I've actually configured a custom Home Assistant dashboard specifically for this location in my home. This is where I think the device becomes much more useful than a simple smart switch. Instead of just controlling the 2 relay outputs, I've added controls for things I actually want to access when we're walking past this area. I've got a button for the main landing light, a control for the vacuum that's just underneath it, and a button that shuts down all of the rooms upstairs when the last person is heading down in the morning. and those controls are completely customizable at any point. If my requirements change later, I can redesign this dashboard in Home Assistant and the panel updates. I can even use visibility variables on individual dashboard items to make them hide and show dynamically as and when things are relevant. This is a huge leap forward compared to those fixed OLED labels on the switches that I was previously using. And now let's talk about the thing I was most curious about, the speed. Because this was ultimately one of the reasons that the previous NSPanel never stayed in use in my home. The original device was just a little bit too sluggish. So the additional RAM and the upgraded hardware in this generation make a noticeable difference. Menus feel quicker and navigation in general, especially scrolling within Home Assistant, feels smoother. And perhaps most importantly, running Home Assistant as the primary interface is actually usable. I no longer feel like I'm waiting for the panel to catch up with what I'm trying to do. Yes, loading the Home Assistant UI does initially take a moment, but once it's loaded, it is perfectly usable. No, it's probably not going to compete with a modern tablet, but that's not really the point. For a permanently mounted smart home control panel, the responsiveness is now right where it needs to be. Beyond Home Assistant, there are actually plenty of additional features available. The built-in Zigbee gateway can connect Zigbee devices directly to the panel, and the Matter Bridge functionality can expose compatible devices to other ecosystems. It also supports RTSP camera feeds, there's built-in thermostat functionality, you can voice call between them, set custom wallpapers and screensavers, and as I mentioned earlier, you can even install additional applications through F-Droid. Okay, quick last-minute addition to the video. See, this panel has some sort of motion sensor built in so that you can have it display a screensaver when it's not in use, but it will auto wake up as you walk up to it. But it doesn't seem to do that when in its browser, which is how I'm actually now displaying Home Assistant. And by default, it's in this bright white theme, which is blindingly bright at night. So to work around this, I created a dashboard user to log in on here. I set this specific dashboard as its default and made the default theme for this dashboard dark so that it's not as blinding when we walk through at night. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Whether you'll actually use any of these features depends entirely on your setup, but it's really nice to have all of that flexibility. After living with the previous NSPanel Pro, I think that the Gen 2 is the version that finally really makes sense. The biggest improvement isn't a big flashy new feature, although those new relays are really helpful. It's the fact that SONOFF have fixed the practical issues. It's noticeably faster and more usable, and because of that improved performance, using a Home Assistant dashboard as the primary interface is something I can genuinely see myself doing long term. Add in the fact that it also includes those two physical relay outputs, allowing it to properly replace a 1 or 2 gang switch, and you've got a device that serves multiple purposes without feeling compromised. As long as you have a neutral available at the switch, it's a very compelling option for anyone looking to add a dedicated smart home control panel to their home. The link to this product will, as always, be in the description below and over on my website. And if you purchase one using my link, I'll earn a small commission at no cost to you. But before you go, remember I am running a monthly member giveaway. Anybody that is subscribed to my mid-tier channel membership is automatically entered in for a chance to win a random piece of smart tech from my ever-growing bucket of spare devices, including one of our ultra-tiny WLED controllers. You'll also get access to my members-only channels on Discord, where you can chat with myself and other members of my building community. So if you would like to support the channel, I would love to see you over there. Thanks again for watching, and as always, remember, home is where the smart is.